After some technical difficulties, we're back here at the Elder Panther Athletic Complex. 3-0. Comets have the lead. We're in the bottom of the second, back to the top of the lineup in Johnson. We missed a Brendan Garula 3-run home run. Will be posted on Twitter later. We apologize once again for the technical difficulties as Johnson looks at strike 3. Stands in the box for a while talking to the ump, but he'll be sat down for the second out of the second. So a much more clean second inning for Herring than the first.
Yeah, Herring just left a couple pitches across the plate that the Comet offense was able to take advantage of. Really just made one drastic mistake. That one hit resulting in 3 runs for the Comets, but he's battled back here in this inning. His control has been better, and his ball placement has been much better as well, but now he's going to have to attack the part of the lineup that really gave him some issues in that first inning.
Yeah, handling the second at-bat of the game in as many innings. First time up, doubled, and we've seen how hot he's been lately. Takes ball 2 on the outside.
Hanley has been a pleasant surprise for this Comets team all season long. Just a freshman, making a big impact in the Comets baseball program right away this season.
The 2-0 now awaited by Hanley as he knocks another one down the right field line. That one just goes foul. Hanley got a hold of that one, but just a little late on that. Early, excuse me. 2-1's the count now.
Yeah, a little change of pace there from Herring. Going with the changeup, getting Hanley out in front of it. See if he can time up this pitch here as he fouls that one back.
2-2 will be the count. Fouled off by Hanley. He's got no one on with 2 out.
Herring patient on the mound. Of course, his counterpart Garula on the mound for the Comets is a pitcher who likes to work with a lot of pace, very deliberate, and Herring is being patient on the mound today.
This one right up the middle, but it will be played by the second baseman, Blank. A throw on the first, so a 1-2-3 inning. Nice change of pace from the first from Herring. But the Comets still have a 3-0 lead after 2.
It's Mason 3, Harrison 0.
Welcome, folks, back to Elder for this matchup between the 5-seeded Comets and the 13-seeded Harrison. Comets, after 2 innings with a 3-0 lead, Brendan Garula responsible for those 3 runs, that 3-run home run he had in the bottom of the first inning, helping himself out a bit. He's been dominant on the pitcher's mound to start this game as well, as Harrison looks to get something going.
Nathan Blank swings on, strike one.
The second baseman for Harrison, and he swings and misses for strike number 2, and Garula is quickly ahead in the count.
That's something he does pretty effectively. Get ahead in the count. You know, he doesn't get behind. Gets 0-2, 1-2 counts. As offers the first ball of the inning, 1-2 now.
Harrison coming into this game 19-9, champions of the Southwest Ohio Conference. And they have been shut down by Garula in this game. Breaking ball on the outside corner is going to sit down the second baseman, Nathan Blank.
Yeah, you talked about it earlier, that strikeout pitch he shows. And it's not limited to just a strikeout pitch. He's not afraid to throw it at the beginning of an at-bat, but you see what you can do there on the two-strike approach.
Of course, that's
and gets Blank sitting, and now Harrison back to the top of the lineup.
It's going to be the center fielder, DJ Driesman, who was hit by the pitch to begin the game, and he lines it into right field. Molnar will play it on a hop. And Garula surrenders the first hit of the game to Driesman, and Harrison's got a base runner with one down.
Yeah, nice first pitch approach from Driesman, wasting no time there. You know, Garula, with his ability to get ahead in counts, you can't really do anything about it when it's the first strike. You don't let him get ahead in the count. So a nice approach and adjustment there from Driesman.
Here's the pitcher, Cam Herring, as he swings and misses. Change of pace there from Garula. Herring out in front, not much he can do about that pitch. 0-1 the count.
Herring struck out his first time up, second time seeing Garula. It's a lefty-righty matchup that's favorable for him. Let's see if he can make an adjustment here.
Throw over to first by Garula, checking on the speedster Driesman. Leading the team in stolen bases with 13. He stole a base in that first inning, and he quickly leads off first base. Herring trying to get something going for Harrison, and he fouls that one to the backstop.
Garula's doing a really good job of mixing in different speeds. You got the high-speed fastball. We talked about his breaking ball. He's got some two-seams that kind of sit in the middle of that as well. And it's been hard for the Harrison hitters to adapt to.
Swung on and missed by Herring. Not able to help himself. You can see the frustration there as Garula sits down another Harrison hitter.
The right fielder, number 15, Carter Daniel.
So now through 8 outs for Harrison offensively, that's 6 strikeouts now for Garula.
A dominant performance from the Comets ace.
And that's important when Harrison's been getting those guys on. They've been getting free bases. They're not been able to get productive outs, which is big for the Comets, and a good job by Garula. You know, after surrendering the first at-bat of the inning by a walk or a hit by pitch, he's been able to make up for it.
Fouled back by Daniel. A check swing. And Garula ahead in the count, 0-1. The catcher, Dalio, on deck for Harrison. Taking off is Driesman, and he's going to take second. Takes a look at third, and he's going to scamper right back to the bag.
His second stolen base of the game. And a second throw from Bly behind the plate that was just a little bit offline, too. But even with the pitch, even with a perfect throw there, I don't know if it would have got Driesman. He's got a really good jump on both of those stolen base attempts. A big reason why they've both been successful.
Daniel now with a runner in scoring position and 2 down in the top of the third. Harrison looking to get on the board. Pitch from Garula. And that's a called strike 3 on the outside corner. Garula with strikeout number 7. He continues to mow down this Harrison lineup. No runs on a hit in the top of the third inning for Harrison. We'll head to the bottom of the third with Ben Stewart leading off for the Comets. Welcome back to the Panther Athletic Complex. We've got a playoff matchup for you here. The Comets with a 3-0 lead over Harrison.
Leading off the third baseman.
As Ben Stewart is going to step in
Third baseman. Number 12.
for the Comets.
Stewart.
The senior third baseman.
First time up for Stewart, reached on an error and scored from the Gorilla 3-run jack. And he's a guy who will find any way to get on. One of the best batting averages for the Comets, but also best on base percentages, as we talked about the power and the home runs and RBI. But this time will be tasked with leading off the inning for the Comets.
Standing in against Herring. Stewart is going to take strike one. And Ben, except for that home run against Gorilla, Herring's been fairly sound on the mound. His defense hasn't helped him out a ton. But that second inning, he was able to mow down the Comets 1-2-3. As he takes Stewart taking strike two on the outside corner there on the breaking ball.
He was giving up 3 hits. He had that double to Hanley, the home run from Gorilla, and then a follow-up single by Murphy. But other than that, like you said, they've had a lot of base runners, but a couple errors from the defense, and then was able to regroup in the second inning with a 1-2-3 inning.
Payoff pitch. Stewart able to foul that one to the backstop. We'll battle from down 0-2 again. Gorilla on deck for the Comets.
Stewart quickly in a hole, and we talk about his drought he's had lately, and that's a big reason. That's something we've noticed, is he's not been able to get ahead in counts.
To the third baseman. That's going to be out number one.
Nice play by Kate Combs. Had a little bit of a miscue in the first inning, but he's cleaned up his defense definitely here. Strong throw and a nice play made to get out Stewart. That'll bring Gorilla up. We'll see how we can follow up the 3-run home run.
This is really the meat of the order for the Comets. Looking to stretch out this lead a little bit. Against the Harrison team coming into this game with a 19-9 record. Still only a 13 seed in the Cincinnati region. Possibly a little bit underseeded. They've made their way to this district semifinal matchup. As Gorilla is going to take a breaking ball in the outside corner for strike number one.
Southwest Ohio Conference champions in Harrison. So that tells you what the coaches who see these teams kind of think of that conference. It's no secret. It's a little bit of a lesser conference. You can compare it to the likes of the GMC.
Gorilla with a line drive to the second baseman. Nathan Blank able to put him away. And Ben Cameron Herring is looking much better than he did in that first inning right now.
Number 4, Michael Murphy.
In the darkness of all the defensive struggles so far through 3 for Harrison, Nathan Blank's been kind of a diamond in the rough in that area. He's made a few really nice plays. A nice leap there to get out Gorilla.
Here's Murphy. He's going to take the breaking ball inside for ball number one. Murphy, of course, leading this team in wins on the pitcher's mound, as well as batting 5th during this 14-game winning streak that the Comets have been on since that midseason loss to Princeton, as Herring is going to blow by a fastball for strike number one.
Yeah, that's something Murphy definitely was not expecting that pitch. He was expecting a breaking ball, was way behind, finally made the decision to pull the trigger, had no chance. He's got to adjust now.
That ball buried into the dirt by Herring. Murphy, the count favors him at 2-1.
Murphy's someone who broke out in the middle of the year. He was never really in the batting order in the lineup except for when he was pitching. And then finally, he had some little opportunities when he was pitching in the lineup, and he took those opportunities and ran with them and earned himself a spot every day in the lineup. And you see where he's at now, batting 5th with an average of over 300.
3-1 count, and he works himself to first base with a walk there. So just as we talked about Cam Herring cleaning things up a little bit from that first inning, he allows a base runner, a 5-pitch walk to the DH Michael Murphy, and now that's going to bring in the other Michael, in Michael Molnar. playing right field for the Comets. He wears a pretty prestigious number on the back of his jersey, Ben, number 23. A lot of athletes who have certainly set a bar for that number, wouldn't you say?
I don't think there's any question about that one. No debate, but that could bring up another debate about the number at 23. But I think we'll leave it where it is.
Throw over to first base. Murphy able to dive back in safely. Ball that nearly got away from the first baseman, Zuber, there. Herring will set his sights on Molnar with Murphy leading on first.
Murphy, not the biggest threat to steal bases, but he's got that potential. He's got a few on the year. Ball one to Molnar.
Herring a little bit wild in these last two at-bats. Breaking ball. Settling too far inside for ball number one. 2 down in the bottom of the third. Comets with a 3-0 lead in this district semifinal matchup. Murphy leading off first. Molnar with a ground ball. Can he beat him? And he will. No throw from the shortstop there. Sedan did not have a play, and it's first and second for Jackson Orlando.
That ball took a rough hop. Like you said, Sedan was ready. He was there for the grounder.
Left fielder, number 13, Jackson Orlando.
But when it reached the end of the grass, the infield grass, it just took a tough bounce. And really no play Sedan could have made. Smart move by him to hold it. And that's an improvement we see already just in this game. Sedan earlier kind of had a bobble and then tried to get it out as fast as he could and ended in another error to get the runner to second. So a smart move by Sedan, learning from his mistakes and just eating that one. As Mason's going to call for.
Looks like that's going to be Mikey Statzer who's going to take second base. Pinch
Like,
running here from Michael Murphy.
The contest is a pinch runner, number 19, Mikey Statzer.
It might be
Statzer, pinch running.
labeled as a courtesy runner. We know how those work in high school.
Orlando.
Courtesy runner. It's a sub. That's a sub. That is not a courtesy runner.
Orlando at the plate now. 0-0 the count. Statzer on second. Molnar leading off first.
Stats are definitely one of the speedier Comets. JV guy who got called up for varsity just for the tournament. Baseball is the one sport where you can pull those guys up, and there's one aspect of the game you can use them, and that's exactly what it is as a pinch runner now. Almost definitely going to score on a single from Orlando unless it's placed in a rough spot.
Orlando taking a big hack at that ball in the dirt, and he's quickly down 0-2 with runners on first and second. The speedster Statzer on second, Molnar on first. Herring trying to get out of this first and second with 2 out jam. Orlando trying to drive in the 4th run of the game for the Comets. The pitch from Herring is going to be too far outside. Ball 1.
Orlando's going to have a different approach now. Now that he's got someone on second and someone a little speedier on second as well. Just know he's got to find somewhere to get the ball down. Doesn't have to drive it too far or anything.
Orlando staying alive, fouling that one to the backstop. 1-2. The count.
Herring was going strong. He wants to make sure that he doesn't take another dip back down. Trying to get out of the inning.
Orlando, that one nearly hit him. A little bit too far inside. Evens the count at 2-2.
Good job by Orlando. Fouling some balls back and able to work the count. 1 ball away from being full.
The 2-2 from Herring. Orlando takes it for ball 3 in the count. Has now worked to full at 3-2 with 2 down. The runners will be off on the pitch.
Runners will be taking off, especially with the speed of stature. You can almost guarantee on any contact Statcher's going to score. As Orlando's going to step out of the box, take a time.
Big moment in the game. A big pitch coming from the senior Herring to the senior Orlando, labeled as one of the best players in the Greater Miami Conference preseason. And he takes a breaking ball on the outside corner for strike number 3. Herring, the senior, works out of it for Harrison. Harrison navigates the bottom of the 3rd unblemished. We'll head to the top of the 4th with the Comets leading 3-0. And welcome back to some playoff baseball here. The Comets in the top of the 4th lead Harrison, the 13 seed, 3-0. Those 3 runs coming off a 3-run home run by Brendan Garula, who has been dominant on the mound as well for the Comets, navigating his way through the first 3 innings with 7 strikeouts, as the catcher Mason Dalio will step into the batter's box looking to break through against Garula as he takes strike number 1 on the outside corner.
Dalio, he's one of 5 strikeout victims for the Wildcats so far through 3. Has 7 total from Garula on the day, and he offers another low breaking ball just in there. Strike 2, excuse me.
Dalio on the season, 361 at the plate with 20 RBIs. That's good for 3rd on the team.
Dalio's definitely an all-around guy.
Outside corner, and Garula sits down. Number 8 there.
The 8th strikeout on the evening for Garula. It's been a perfect mix of looking and swinging. So you can kind of look at some indecisiveness from the Wildcats. But the placement of Garula has been unreal.
Swung on and missed there. Strike number 1 as Zuber steps in.
Zuber's first official at bat of the day. Walked in the 2nd inning.
Garula working from the windup, and he's ahead 0-2 after that foul to the backstop from Zuber. One down in the inning.
Good job by Garula. In this inning, he's been able to avoid that leadoff base runner that he was a victim of the first 3 innings as he offers another one outside.
Pitch that Mason Faithful wanted on the outside corner, as Garula will fire another one too far outside, and the count is back even at 2-2. Braden Zuber, the team leader in RBIs with 24 on the season for the Wildcats. Outside corner. Zuber didn't get the call he wanted there. Garula with strikeout number 9.
11 outs, that's 9 strikeouts. And you talked about that pitch on the outside corner Comets faithful wanted. They finally got it there. That one may have been a little more outside. And you know Harrison fans and coaches aren't happy about that one. They're going to play on.
Stepping up the third baseman, number 7, Cade Combs.
Garula getting some generous calls on the outside part of the plate in this one, and now he'll face Cade Combs, the third baseman.
Combs,
from
another
Harrison.
another guy seeking his first at-bat of the evening. Laid down a sacrifice bunt. It was a perfect bunt in the second.
0-1 the count after the swing and miss from Combs. That ball too far outside.
That's been a big part of Garula's success so far today, has been his ability to work that outside corner. And he's noticed that he's been able to get those calls.
Garula overthrown a little bit there.
So he's used that to his ability, used that to his advantage.
Garula gets a big swing and miss there, and the count is even at 2-2 now.
And when you're expecting something like that outside, you see it there. Throws a heater right inside, not able to catch up to it. Is Combs.
Swung on and missed there from Combs. Drop third strike. Bly will take care of business. Garula strikes out the side. He's up to 10 strikeouts now. We'll head to the bottom of the fourth with the Comets holding their lead at 3-0. And welcome back to the Panther Athletic Complex. Bottom of the fourth inning action here in this OHSAA playoff matchup between the Mason Comets and the Harrison Wildcats. Mason holding a 3-0 lead into the bottom of the fourth as the catcher Brady Bly will take his swings against the senior Cameron Herring from Harrison.
Bly last time up. Got a little robbed of a base hit. A nice play made over by second baseman Blank. We'll see what he can do now, kind of get revenge.
Breaking ball from Herring. Right in on the outside corner there for strike one. Both pitchers have really had that breaking ball working. 0-1 the count. On the ground, Blank, the second baseman, will retire Bly.
Nice approach there from Bly, trying to get anything in play to lead off the inning. Just hit right at Blank. And we know how solid Blank's been all night.
It's going to bring up the second baseman, Drew Cox, young star for the Comets, only a sophomore. Recently, he's been hitting the ball a lot better in that 9-hole. He's going to face the senior Herring. That one in the dirt.
First time around was a leadoff sky high to the center fielder for the first out of the inning. Now he's got one out and nobody on. You talk about how hot he's been. It's been important for that sophomore. And we talked earlier about Mason's a team that DHs for a position player, and for a while, Cox was that position player that they DH for. He was able, when he got his opportunities, hit out of that position. And now that he's got an official spot in the everyday lineup, he's taking advantage of it.
Line drive to the shortstop, Cox, with solid contact. But a nice play by Anthony Sedan. And the Comets quickly with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th, and that's going to bring in Max Johnson,
Number 3,
who struck out looking in his last at-bat. Hitless so far. He's had a pop-up to the second baseman blank and a backwards strikeout.
Johnson seeking his first hit. He's also seeking that record. He's 1 run away from the single-season record for runs scored. And he's got to be able to get on first to get to that. .551 on base percentage. Really impressive as the leadoff hitter. He doesn't get pitched to a ton.
Johnson will foul that one back. Count even at 1-1. 2 down in the bottom of the 4th. The Comets with a 3-0 lead over the Wildcats. Winner to the district title game. Breaking ball too far outside.
You can kind of tell how the confidence of Herring has been able to affect his command and his control. You saw the first inning and had a little bit of trouble with it in the 3rd inning, but the 2nd and 4th, when he gets batters out, when he gets the first runner out, he's been able to work more efficiently.
Good pitch there from Herring to even the count at 2-2. Johnson looking to protect here with 2 down. The star shortstop. He's played varsity his entire career here at Mason, and he's going to put that one on the ground to the second baseman. Blank easily making the play. Johnson coming up, hobbling a little bit out of the box. He is doubled over down the right field line. Coach Woolfolk, the first base coach, will head out to check on him. The Comets not able to get any runs across. 3-0, heading to the top of the 5th. Welcome back to Elder High School. If you're just joining us, Max Johnson just grounded out to end the bottom of the 4th. Came up, hobbling a little bit down the right field line. He is back out at shortstop for the Comets. A good sign for this Mason Comets squad. Their senior defensive leader, a player who has the most experience on varsity on this squad. As we talked about earlier, he's played every single season in his Mason High School baseball career on the varsity squad. Is Brendan Garula able to get ahead in the count? He'll induce A ground ball over to Ben Stewart, who will fire it over to Jake Hanley for out number 1.
It's the second ground out of the night to the left side for Morse. That first one coming in the second inning was a great play made by Johnson, and that's the effect Johnson has. You know, you look at the offensive numbers, batting over 300, on base percentage over 500, one run away from that record. But his impact defensively can't go understated either. It's going to bring up Sedan, struck out his first at bat. Responsible for one of the 10 strikeouts on Garula's behalf.
Big swing and miss there from the speedy shortstop. Count is 1-1. Foul tip there from Sedan. Garula in control, 1-2 count, 1 down in the top of the 5th. Hunting for strikeout number 11. The GMC's strikeout leader on the season. Got him on the outside corner. Garula gets strikeout number 11.
And we talk about that generous call, and Garula, even if that's not a strike,
Number 6.
he's going to use that to his advantage. It's a really smart tactic. He sees that he's been getting that call all game, so this 2-pitch approach is going to be right in that spot. Because it's essentially unhittable. At least that's what a lot of Wildcats are going to think.
Swing and a miss there from the second baseman, Blank.
Blank, another guy's a strikeout victim.
Outside corner there, he fouls it to the backstop. And Garula working through this inning quickly. It's 0-2.
This is a big out. You don't want to turn it over to the top of the lineup this inning.
Swung on and missed. Garula with strikeout number 12. A 3-pitch strikeout of the second baseman, Blank. Comets lead 3-0, heading to the bottom of the 5th. Mason Comets, after 4.5 innings with a 3-0 lead over the Harrison Wildcats. Comets the 5 seed, Harrison the 13 seed. Jake Hanley, the freshman first baseman for the Comets, is going to step into the box against the senior Cameron Herring, who since that first inning has been mowing down these Comets hitters.
Hanley's 1 for 2 on the day. He had that double, the first hit of the day for either team. He was also responsible for a run.
Right through the catcher, or the catcher Dalio there. 1-0 the count to Jake Hanley.
And something Mason's really improved on lately, they haven't lost since Princeton, is that situational baseball and taking advantage.
Down the right field line, Hanley just foul. We saw that in his last at bat as well. Trying to turn on a pitch and send it down the right field line.
Just a little bit early, and we've seen that a few times.
Count even at 1-1 now to the freshman superstar.
A But back to what I was talking about, Mason's been really good in taking advantage of situations. Herring's been really good all game, but he just left one pitch across the middle, and Garula was able to take advantage of it. And that's been the theme of this little run they've been on. They won 11 straight in the GMC to close out co-championship Mason Comets of the GMC.
Payoff pitch coming from Herring. To the right side. Diving stop by Blank, and he got him at first base.
I mean, we can't say enough about Blank defensively. All game, he's made solid plays, and you see another one there, another flashy play. You can see the athleticism. One of the most athletic second basemen we've seen in the city.
Ben Stewart.
And that's the second time Hanley's grounded out right to him.
Ben Stewart, the senior third baseman, will step in.
Today's got 2 hard hit balls to the shortstop. One of them got on from an error. One of them fielded cleanly by Sedan.
That one is skied into shallow center field. He's going to make the catch. That's Sedan for out number 2.
Sedan and Stewart have had some nice matchups today. All 3 Stewart at-bats ended up in the hands of Sedan.
The pitcher, number
Now
5,
Brendan Garula, who has been
Garula.
the defense and the run support for the Comets in this game. 2 down in the bottom of the 5th. Looking to help himself a little bit more here.
He loved that second home run. You know that now there's no one on. There's 2 outs.
Breaking ball is going to be taken for ball number 1.
Harrison fans not happy about that. They're kind of saying that outside pitch Garula's been getting all game. Why isn't the one from Herring there?
Outside part of the plate. Ball number 2. 2-0 the count here. Garula, the junior, with 12 strikeouts on the day, as well as a 3-run home run. Breaking ball inside corner, too far inside. Ball number 3.
Good patience by Garula. You know, there's always a different perspective pitchers have when they're at the plate. Kind of those advantages that any pitcher and catcher have. And when you've got a talented hitter like Garula, you combine those 2 things, and the stats speak for itself. He's worked a 3-0 count here.
3-0 green light, center field. Diesman will come in. 3 up, 3 down for the Comets. We'll head to the top of the 6th. Harrison will look to battle back from a 3-run deficit.
3, Harrison, 0. Your attention, please. Defensive substitution.
3-0 lead for the Comets going into the 6th. They're 6 outs away from claiming that sectional championship and moving on to the district championship. We've got some substitutions. Rutherford heads to third base, sends Stewart over to short. That's going to take Johnson out of the game.
And Max Johnson on that ground ball to first base in the bottom of the 4th inning came up hobbling. You just hope that he's okay and healthy enough to go after this game. Of course, Kurt Bly, the head coach for the Comets, erring on the side of caution here, sitting down his star shortstop.
Smart move by Bly. It is a close game, but knowing as long as Garula is able to get these 6 outs, Johnson would not be up to bat the rest of the game. You know, he brings a lot of value defensively, but felt like this is a position where he wants to rest him. As strike number 1 dealt to Diesman. Puts it at a 2-1 count. Garula, rare time. He's been behind in the count, and Diesman knocks one. That's his second base hit of the game. The second base hit of the game for any Wildcats. And they've got another leadoff runner on coming up to the plate for the pitcher, Herring. Hopefully to make back some of those runs he gave up in the first.
And Diesman has really been an anomaly in this game. Not something you see normally lefties hitting off left-handed pitchers this effectively. Garula has dominated matchups against left-handed hitters pretty much all season, and Diesman has had the most success out of anybody in the ballpark for Harrison today.
Diesman's been on twice today and got 2 stolen bases with really not much of a play on either. So you definitely got to look to him as a threat to go. But we got no outs here. First pitch to Herring was ball 1. Excuse me, strike. Herring puts a bunt down. That's going to be fouled back. So there we see the natural Garula getting ahead in the count. 0-2.
And there have been no Harrison runners that have made it past second base in this game. Garula has been able to work out of these jams quite easily. We'll see if he can do it again here.
The 0-2 pitch awaiting pitcher-on-pitcher matchup. Swung on and missed. That's the third strikeout from Herring and number 11 for Garula. And that's a big
The right fielder.
out.
Number 15, Carter Daniel.
Excuse me, 13 strikeouts on the evening from Garula. I was a couple behind. But now we got Daniel coming up. He's struck out twice, trying to avoid the hat trick that Herring just achieved. But we talked about how important it is. It's exactly what we said earlier. A leadoff runner, but no productive out from Harrison.
And Daniel has been the power bat in this Harrison lineup all season long. He's got the only home run. He's got the most triples on the team for the squad as well. Tied for the team lead in RBIs. There would be no better time for him to break through this one-game slump than right now. Down 3-0 against one of the best teams, one of the hottest teams in the city in Mason.
He'll foul one back. That'll be the first strike of the AB, making it 2-1. Garula taking his time a little bit more now. You see, that's something he does. You know, he works very quickly as Diesman takes off. No throw from Bly. So another non-contested steal from Diesman. And that's been big for the Wildcats. They haven't been able to capitalize, but to put that runner in scoring position.
It's interesting. Every single time Diesman has gotten on base, he's stolen second, but he's stolen it on an off-speed pitch. He's picked his spots nicely. And Brady Bly's had no chance to throw him out.
That's what you're going to get with a pitcher like Garula, who has a lot of movement. Some of those breaking balls lay off some velocity.
Full count now here to Daniel.
This one foul back behind the plate. Out of play. We'll try the full count again.
The runner on second, lefty on lefty matchup. This favors Garula, but you've got to think that this is one of the bigger pitches so far in this game coming up late in the game with a runner in scoring position.
Full count. This one drilled in the gap. They're going to wave around. Excuse me. They're going to hold up. Thiesman, a great throw in left field from Orlando, but now we got runners on the corners, and the tying run's going to come up to the plate. And Mason Dalio, the catcher, struck out twice today.
About the catcher.
That's a big-time hit there
Dalio.
from Daniel, putting that ball in play to left field. Thiesman didn't get a great jump off the bat, not able to come around and score. Orlando playing pretty shallow in left field. So it looks like Michael Murphy's going to head over to the bullpen for the Comets.
Interesting decision from the Comets to send Murphy out there. He's who's scheduled to start next game, but you know, it's single elimination tournament. It's all about today. You can't be thinking about tomorrow. Let's roll off with strike one.
If you're Brennan Garula right now, you're just trying to get this out, but there would be no better time for your 14th strikeout than right now with runners on first and third, the cleanup hitter at the plate with only one down in the inning.
As this one swung on, Orlando can't get there. That'll bring in a run. The hit parade continues for the Wildcats, and they get their first run across off an RBI single from Mason Dalio. And they're still threatening now with first and second and only one out.
And Garula just having a hard time right now locating his pitches. Harrison, they've gone through the lineup a few times, and they're finally starting to see the ball well out of his hand. Of course, still a two-run lead for the Comets. But Harrison's starting to build up some momentum here. A runner in scoring position, another at first base, as it looks like the pitching coach for the Comets is going to head out and have a talk with Mr. Garula here.
A big spot coming up for Braden Zuber. He's yet to put one in play. He's got a walk and a strikeout on the day. And you can't imagine, you can only imagine the nerves running through Garula's hands right now.
And Garula just needs to come out of this mound visit here and get back to what he's been doing all season, pounding the strike zone, locating his pitches well, let his defense do the job for him.
I'm not ready yet.
This is a big at-bat here from Braden Zuber.
As we feel, it's pretty obvious. Mason does not want to have to use Michael Murphy in this situation, but they definitely will to keep themselves alive if they feel any threat from Harrison. Now they got first and second. The tying runs on, and the go-ahead runs at the plate and Braden Zuber. Took first pitch for ball inside. Garula's kind of losing that command and losing that ability to get ahead in counts.
Good power pitch there for Garula. It looked like Zuber wasn't quite able to catch up with that one, fouling it back.
1-1 count. The count's even. Big spot for Garula.
He just needs to stay composed here. Keep his head level.
The 1-1's fouled off once again. And Garula still has that ability to mix in those different velocities as two pitches back-to-back fouled off. One was a high-speed fastball, the other a breaking pitch. To make it a 1-2 count.
Big pitch coming up here. A huge out this would be for the Comets.
And fouled off, not able to keep it in his mitt is Bly. So we'll try the 1 and 2 again.
That would have been strikeout number 14, and that would have been the biggest of them all.
Zuber's been a strikeout victim tonight. He's also been able to work a walk. He's got nice discipline at the plate now. The 1-2's just a bit low, and with a bigger zone today from this umpire, Comets really expected strike 3 to be called there, but they're going to even the count at 2 now. Good patience from Zuber. 2-2 fouled off once again.
And if nothing else, Zuber right now is making Garula work on that mound. This is This at-bat has gone long. 7 or 8 pitches so far from Garula.
And in a single elimination tournament, pitch count matters, especially when you got guys like Garula. You want to go a little more often than he would in the regular season. 2-2, swung on and missed, strikeout number 14, and it came in a crucial spot.
What a big-time pitch there from Brendan Garula. All the pressure on him at the mound. First and second, a runner in scoring position. Zuber tied for the lead on this Wildcats team in RBIs, and Garula goes right at him and gets a huge out number 2.
And it's going to be Cade Combs now. He's put in a difficult spot. He's got one in scoring position, but he does have 2 outs. First pitch to him outside for ball 1. Combs today, and his sole at bat, struck out swinging. He does have a perfectly placed sacrifice bunt. Okay. Second pitch to him outside for a ball.
Come on,
2-0 now. Good patience from Combs as he swings on an inside pitch, turns on it, and hits it foul off to the net.
And with the way that Harrison has been hitting the ball in this inning, as a Comets fan, you're really holding your breath every time the ball is made contact with or a Wildcat takes a swing. Garula, big pitch here, down 2-1.
Swung on and missed to even the count by Combs. And Garula's got another position with 2-2. Addison, what's he going with here? We've seen a couple different strikeout pitches from him. 14 strikeouts on the night. Looking for 15 through 6 innings.
He loves that breaking ball on the outside corner. Looked like he went with a fastball there. Combs able to catch up with it a bit there and foul it back. But that breaking ball, Harrison's been seeing it a little bit better. They haven't really been able to catch up with his fastball much in this game. But in this inning especially, they've been able to square up a few breaking balls and sat back and were able to drive those into the outfield. And that's what's really got the Comets in this precarious position right now. 2-2 the count. Garula just needs to get it to the bottom half of this inning, give his offense a chance to bail him out with some insurance runs.
Garula now 2-2's the count. He's got 2 out, 2 on. Swung on and hits right at the right field of Molnar. Molnar has no trouble with it. Comets and Garula get out of the top of the 6th with only 1 run across and a 3-1 lead. Comets hold. They're 3 outs away. So after Harrison tried to mount a comeback, they were only able to get 1 across, and Mason looks to add insurance in his sectional final game.
Number 4, Michael Murphy.
They have a 3-1 lead, and now it's going to be Murphy. It's 1 for 1 on the day with a single, also has a walk.
Murphy, of course, in that last inning, saw him down in the bullpen for the Comets, warming up a bit.
It'd be nice if they didn't have to use him. First pitch to him was down low for ball one.
Herring has gone all 5 innings so far for Harrison. Since that first inning, he's really been pretty much perfect, only allowing 1 hit since that first inning.
And what was big about that top of the 6th frame
Ball got through the gate.
for the Comets is that you got the 6th hitter as your final out. So 7, 8, 9 are the 3 outs you need to get to secure a victory and a sectional championship. Murphy fouls one back for strike one.
This is a big half inning for the Comets offensively. Garula starting to get a little fatigued on the mound. Some insurance runs would be key, even though they are facing 7, 8, 9. One of them gets on, and all of a sudden you're facing 8, 9, 1 or 9, 1, 2. So it'd be big if the Comets were able to stretch this lead a little bit more.
Murphy takes another ball, makes the count 2-1. Had a sharp single that he stumbled at first with as he's going to ground one foul. Turns on it just a bit early. Evens the count at 2.
Of course, we talked about the transformation that we've seen from the Comets this season. Early on, 5-4 in the GMC, things looked a little bit bleak for this Comets squad that had high expectations coming in. And Michael Murphy has been a big part of kind of the rebirth of this team. 14 straight games that they have emerged victorious.
Well, if you look at it, the one game after Mason lost to Princeton, that was the first game Murphy was put in as kind of an everyday batter. As he turns on one and a leadoff base hit for the Comets as they look to add some insurance, the second base hit of the day for the sophomore Murphy.
And what a big-time player that he's been all season. Just as you said, only a sophomore. Their 2 best pitchers are going to be coming back and playing baseball for the Comets next year.
Number 23, Michael
This team
Bulldog.
with a bright future, and Murphy's a big part of that. Possibly striking a rally here for the Comets. Harrison just needs to remain strong. Herring's been good on the mound. And Molnar now with an opportunity to get things going.
Molnar's 1 for 2 on the day, grounded out to the shortstop in the first. He's also got a single in the third that came with 2 outs. The check on Murphy, nothing happening. Molnar awaits his first pitch of the at-bat. As he tries to lay down a bunt, this time a little late, and knocks it back into the net.
Molnar, a 5-tool player for the Comets. He can hit for power, he can hit for contact, and he certainly got a lot of speed. We saw that on display earlier with that infield single. A star 3-sport athlete at Mason High School. And he's been a big part of all 3 teams that he's participated in during this pandemic year.
Starting quarterback, starting power forward, and here a starting right fielder as the bunt attempt gets away from Dalio. I'm not sure Murphy realized it or he wanted to stay safe, so no movement from him. So all to be will be a routine ball to Molnar.
Of course, Murphy, not the fastest on the base paths. Of course, you don't want to make a stupid out at second base with a talented hitter at the plate in Michael Molnar.
1 on and no one out for Molnar. Throwback again over Murphy. It's wow, you mentioned it. Murphy's not that much of a threat on the base paths, but with the way Herring's been trying to keep him in check all game, you might think he is. He's been on base all 3 times he's come up today. And they're going to get it. Molnar with a called strike. The throw over to first to Murphy. Once again, he got in there safely, but Molnar wants some clarification if that was in the zone or if they thought he held the bat out there too long. So 1-2's the count now.
Molnar's got to protect here with 2 strikes. The bunt likely off. Third baseman for Harrison still playing in that bunt depth.
That one inside. Another great play and a block from Dalio. We've seen that a few times today.
We said one of the keys to the game with this backstop at this particular stadium is that these catchers are going to have to be sound behind the plate, and both of them have been quite good. No advancements on wild pitches or pass balls for either of these teams in this game. Of course, not many base runners for either team either.
Molnar turns on one. He was just a bit early, though. That'll land foul out of play. Great contact made.
Molnar just getting a little too out in front of that breaking ball there.
Cover the dirt as well. Leave the dirt.
This is a big pitch coming up for Herring. With nobody out in the inning, the last thing you want is for the Comets to somehow get this to the top of the lineup.
We'll try the 2-2 again. Molnar standing in against Herring. On the outside corner, the call that Garula's been getting all game long finally goes in the way of Harrison and Herring. It'll sit down Molnar, his first strikeout of the game. And now Orlando's going to be put in a spot with one on, one out.
Jackson.
And
Orlando.
Molnar didn't like that call, but you've just got to have a better approach at the plate with the way the strikes have been called by this particular home plate umpire. The corners have been favored, and Molnar just not prepared for that. And that's a big-time strikeout from the senior Cameron Herring.
Orlando, who's been pretty hot recently, as they'll put another check on Murphy. Orlando still awaiting the first pitch of the AB.
Orlando, his last season of varsity, it was his sophomore year, he hit .375 for the Comets. Bit of a down year at the plate for Orlando, but the potential is certainly there. What a big time it would be for him right now to break out, as Murphy is really giving Herring a lot to worry about at first base right now, as he went with a bit of a quick pitch there, delivery straight to the plate.
That one was outside for a ball one. Orlando ahead in the count. Gets another one low.
It's just going to be crucial here for Orlando to stay patient. Herring's pitch count certainly getting pretty high now. Bottom of the sixth inning, one down.
Herring looking for his first strike of the at-bat, and he'll get it there, that outside corner we've seen all game.
It's got to be time for some of these hitters to start adjusting to that. We've seen so many strike calls on the outside corner and just bewilderment from every single batter that's gotten it called on them.
2-1 now. Herring trying to work his way back into the count, but at first he'll keep Murphy at first.
If nothing else, Murphy is in the head of Herring. Certainly.
I mean, it's either that or Herring has the mindset that it's Billy Hamilton over at first. Is Orlando right to the third baseman, to second base. The double play not able to be complete, but a nice turn from Cade Combs to get the runner at second, and a good job by Orlando beating it out. That's the second hustle play we've seen him make today.
Just a good turn there from Harrison. Throw a little bit off the mark there from the second baseman. Now Brady Bly trying to help his pitcher out a bit here.
The catcher, number 9, Brady
They got
Bly.
that first runner on. So it looks like we have a little bit of confusion here, but Orlando will lead off first now with Bly at the plate.
Bly today's got a couple of ground outs to the second baseman. Both of those really nice plays made by Blank. First pitch high and inside, ball one to Bly.
Of course, this Comets offense needs to remain patient at the plate. With Bly, of course, they got that first runner on. Opportunity to get some much needed insurance. And now Herring is certainly worried about Orlando, it would seem, as well. Orlando is certainly more of a speed threat than Murphy is. The senior outfielder is Murphy getting loose over there down the right field line in the bullpen. Good looking pitch there.
Herring really want to make sure he gives his offense a good chance to tie this game up or try to take the lead here, as we'll head to the top of the 7th after this inning. So making sure no one gets in scoring position. He's done that pretty well with a fielder's choice and a strikeout. Another check as Little Miami, we're getting word, beat Lebanon, so the winner of this game will go on to take Little Miami. They're responsible for a couple of upsets. That game will be held at Princeton High School. Bly will take a step out of the batter's box for a time. As Bly knocks one this time right to blank once again. Easy throw over to first base, and Harrison, last call for the Wildcats. They're down 2 going into the 7th.